Hi everyone, I'm a little tired today. This past weekend was the Great Kitsap Spin-In, which you may or may not know I co-organized with my local guild. Pretty tired from that, but one of the things I bought while I was there was this lovely Batt from Pan Fran Knit Co in Tacoma, Washington. And she actually processed this fleece herself and then spun it or carded it up specifically for our event. So it's about a 50-gram bat and made from local Washington wool. It's got a little bit of sparkle in it. And what I'm thinking today is I want to unroll this and maybe spin it as a fractal ply. I've taken it out of the bag a couple of times to squish around on it, so I've kind of, fluffed up the fibers here. But what I'm gonna do is I'll rip the label off, weigh it out, and then we'll split it up. I talked with Becky while I was there, and she was spinning one of her bats during the event. And she said that she was just going end to end, color by color, and then going to chain ply it. And then mentioned the other options like fractal spinning. So I lucked out. Apparently, mine is actually 57 grams. So let me see if I can find the ends here. There we go. Yeah, look how lovely all those colors are. Oh, this is going to be great. So I want to try to get, so 57 grams is 28-ish grams each. So I'm going to roll it up this way actually and try to split it mostly in half. And see how well I did. That's so fluffy. Okay, so that one's 30. I did pretty good. So I'll use that as my first ply. And then this one then should be a roughly 27, yeah. There we go. And so then I think I'll try to split this one in half again. So just doing the same thing. Go like that. And so those should be, this one feels a little bit thicker. I don't think I got as much white on that one. So let's see, 27. So that one's 12 and a half. And then this one is 14 and a half. Yeah, that should be fine. I might take maybe I'll take a little hair of white off of this one to add to this one. And that should be mostly good. So yeah, I'll try to spin these end and end. I'll just see what it wants to spin as. I have no idea. I don't have any plans for like the weight of yarn. I am loving the long draw lately. It is faster. So maybe I'll just do long draw end to end here. Start with my shorter plies just because I feel like it. So let's do that. I've got a half finished row lag on the wheel. I don't mind, I don't care. I'll just use this as a leader. The colors should be pretty stark here, so I should be able to figure out where I started and where I stopped. Looks like my son might have gotten a hold of my flyer a little bit, but that's okay. The colors are pretty well separated in the back here, so I'm just going to get this going and just go long draw, see how it goes. And see how I started my spin there. It's going pretty thin. Hopefully that's in shot. bring it closer to the flyer so you can see. Yeah, I think I need to take the uptake down, or the tension down a little bit. It's getting pulled out of my hands a little bit. There we go. I think I'll go pretty thin there. We'll just see. I have no idea what weight this will spin up as. I'll have to ask Becky again what breed of sheep this was, but I know, like I mentioned earlier, she bought and scoured this fleece herself, dyed it up herself, and did an amazing job. So I'll leave a link to her shop in my description, and definitely go support her. She was one of our amazing vendors at the Spin-In, and just like has such bright, colorful, fun yarn and fiber for any of you prospective crafters out there. All right, back to the hands for a minute, because I'm actually having a hard time. I had a break, and I'm having a hard time getting my wool to reattach. And so what I'm going to try is just to fluff up that end a little bit more, and then take my other end. You can see like I've had a bunch of restarts here. And I'm going to take this end and fluff this up a little bit more as well. It's just to see if I can get a better attachment so it stops breaking. Also fluff up some of those ends where I already had something. I already had the yarn half spun. And then get a little bit more twist back into this. I have to check again what the breed is, but I feel like it's a long wool. I almost feel like it might have been a Wensleydale, but it's very, very slick. And even that's having a hard time attaching. So hopefully that did a good enough job. I might leave it a little thicker right there. But even with my attempts so far, it's like I get it almost all the way onto the bobbin and then it breaks like that. Okay, we're gonna try again. Don't know if you can see on camera. Get it to focus. Kind of a long staple, not too long. It's not super crimpy. So this is not a fine wool. It's got a lot of luster to it. So yeah, something like a Wensleydale might be right. So I'll get this right back through the orifice. And maybe pull back a little bit further. Now I'm trying to like unspin it a bit, see if I can split some of this apart to get it a little fluffier. Since there's not a lot of crimp to it, it's going to need a little bit more to stick together. Maybe that'll do it. All right, let's like fifth time the charm maybe. Normally I don't have a problem getting my wool reattached, but this is, you know, a bit of a smoother, less crimpier wool. Oh my goodness. Now I don't want to lose like a bunch of this blue either. I mean, my color changes are going to be pretty short. So like in other projects, I might like, you know, rip out a bunch of the yarn if it's not behaving and just like reattach where it like works. But since I want to try to preserve as much color as possible, then I will save it. Keep fiddling. If I can find my end now. All right, take like 6. Fingers crossed. I think it's working now. There you go. So yeah, even when you're having difficulty with a leader, like even a lot of, I won't say that I'm more experienced. I don't have a lot of years on paper when it comes to spinning, but I feel pretty confident in my spinning most of the time. I feel like this is going to be a little bit lumpy, and that's okay. I don't mind. Alright, I'm done with the first half. Sorry my bobbin's not like the most aesthetic, but you can see like, you know, the 2 different colors there. There's some yellow and yellow there. So yeah, I got my 2 short spins there. So that means I'm about halfway done. And I'd say it maybe took me hour and a half to do that. So some thoughts on the first half of spinning this fractal spin with the rainbow Batt from Pan Fran Knits. It is a smoother, more lustrous wool, and so it's very slick in my hands. And so I probably should have done like a forward or more of a worsted spin on it. And that would have also helped me pick out some of the neps and more clumped together fiber. So I think some of the locks weren't really carded up, and they were slubbing a lot in my woolen long draw spin. And so it turned out that it wasn't really hitting a long draw most of the time when I was spinning, but it's still like a woolen spun. I even tried spinning from the fold, which I haven't done very often, and so my technique is kind of bad. I didn't film it, but wasn't the best. I think I'll go ahead and just keep spinning on the bobbin I've got and then do a center pull ball. And if I don't end up, you know, hitting the change between the 2 halves, fine, like that's fine. This is a great experiment. And I even right now have a decision to make whether I start on the purple end like I did with this half, or if I go on the reverse and spin from the white end, which now that I think about it, it wasn't intentional that I started with purple. So I think I will start with the white, and it'll be white on white. And then I probably won't even be able to tell when I hit the midpoint from the color changes if I go white to white. And so it'll be purple to white, and then white all the way back to purple. Should I do it like that, or should I reverse it? And so it'd be purple to white, purple back to white. And then I won't have the same color on color. But then you would be able to tell if, you know, one of the plies is longer than the other. It may not line up perfectly well. Oh well. Oh well. This is my first fractal spin. We'll see how it goes. So on this side, you know, definitely longer colors. So I'm going to split these down, trying my best to make sure to get the colors really separated. And then you can see, you know, that's the strip I'm working with. So I'm pretty happy with my rainbow braid skein. It turned out really interesting, I think. You can definitely see the rainbow colors in there. And I think doing a fractal spin really made it seem like a cohesive uh, yarn. There's definitely the white on the purple and then works in towards, you know, some blues and purples, yellows and pinks, and it's just really interesting the way that the colors all aligned. I ended up applying it last night and recorded some video, but not a whole, like no audio. So, you know, I didn't talk through the process. It's a little overspun, but I think once I finish it, that will all come out. I think it worked up to about 126 yards, and that works out to be like maybe a heavy DK worsted weight. So it's a little bit thicker than I would have thought. It's not very consistent, but that's okay. And I just really love the color and the funness of it all. So yeah, if you guys have any ideas about what I should do with this fun, colorful skein of rainbow fractal yarn, please let me know. I'd love to hear your thoughts down in the comments. And I just had a lot of fun with this project. So if you guys would like to check out Becky's yarns and her fiber, again, that's Pan Fran Knit Co, located in Tacoma, Washington, and I'll leave a link to her shop down below. And hope to see you guys soon. If you enjoyed crafting with me today, I would really appreciate it if you could consider subscribing, giving me a like, or commenting down below. And it's always great to have your support on the channel. So I'll leave you with some parting shots here of just some beautiful rainbow fractal yarn.